Good morning. This is Leland Titus with Santa Fe Realty Unlimited. Today we're going to have a special guest, Matthew Romero with Liberty Mutual Insurance. He's going to give us the lowdown on a little bit of homeowners insurance. Today I'm with Matthew Romero of Liberty Mutual Insurance. He's going to be answering a few questions for us about homeowners insurance. Matthew, how can people reach you if they would like to ask you more questions?
Well, first of all, thank you, Leland, for inviting me here today. You can reach me on my cell phone, which is 505-231-8149. And you can also reach me on my office number where my voicemail is at 505-355-4832. I am with Liberty Mutual Insurance. But yeah, looking forward to talking with Leland today. Get some questions and frequently asked questions and answers out there.
Okay. Well, so Matt, I think one of the main things that that goes wrong on a home, or the main thing that a big expense for people is the roof. Can you tell us what's covered as far as roof coverage on a home?
So when you're looking at roof coverage, there needs to be damage to the roof. So when you're looking at hail or wind damage, that's the most typical type of damage that would be covered on a roof. And so wear and tear is something that's not covered. And over time, of course, the roof's going to take a lot of damage just by the wear and tear. But there needs to be solid evidence of either wind or hail damage to get a good roof claim.
Okay, so you guys cover basically natural disasters would be wind, hail, fire, anything like that.
Yes.
That brings us to so typically normal wear and tear on a roof's not covered. So as Matt and I were discussing earlier, you want to make sure you get a good home inspection. You want to know the year of the roof when you're buying the house, and the life expectancy of that roof. That's something that you guys ask and make sure of for sure, right? Because it's something that you deal with a lot.
Yeah, so typically when I'm looking at a home, either for a new home buyer or somebody that's existing inside of a home, I always ask the question is, first of all, when did you purchase the home and when was the home built? And so with those two, we can put together a good estimate of when you might be replacing the roof down the line.
Okay. And speaking of natural disaster type things, I know here in Santa Fe, 2 years ago, now, maybe 2 years or one. I'm not quite sure exactly the length of time, but we had a huge rainfall that took out a bunch of homes. So people lost their homes due to water and flooding. Can you tell me a little bit about flood insurance and a little bit about the difference between like water backup and flood insurance? And
Sure.
What might be covered?
Yeah. So when we're looking at water backup is something that's basically your sewer backing up into your home. If you have pipes burst due to freezing, we would cover any damage that happens inside of the home. So any damage that takes place inside of the home. What is not covered, although, is the actual pipes that burst. So if you had damage to your water heater, the water heater is really old, due to it not being maintained over time, it breaks, it leaks all over, it causes damage. The water heater would not be covered.
Okay.
The only coverage that would be covered is basically damage to the home, other than the pipes breaking, equipment.
Would that policy change with you versus a different insurance company? Because I know that I've had clients in the past that have had things like this happen, and they weren't necessarily covered for the damage that was caused. Like the floor. I mean, if you have a pipe break, you got wall damage, you got floor damage, you got, who knows, cabinets.
So, it would not cover. It's basically going to cover any damage that the water does. Difference between water backup though and flood damage, big difference there. Like saying water backup's basically covering if something backs up in your house, pipe breaks due to freezing. Flood insurance, although, is very different. That is covering your home in case there is a serious flood. If there's a serious amount of water in your home, it's going to cover everything that the water damages that comes inside your home. Santa Fe not typically, or New Mexico not typically having floods, but it's something that you want to be aware of because they're two different coverages. So having the flood damage definitely covers you on a larger coverage basis.
Okay, and so I mean, flood damage coverage, is that typically a large expense, or is it affordable generally, or I mean, what would you say you typically see on an average home monthly on something like that?
It's definitely affordable. Just not something that I typically write here in New Mexico because it's not something that we typically have. But
right.
When you're getting an adjustment, when you're looking to get an insurance quote or have an adjuster come out and review the home, see if it's in adequate condition before you talk to the insurance agent, you definitely want to take into fact placement of where the home is. Is this in a flooded a flood danger zone?
Right.
Could this get flooded if so, say we had a lot of rain, if it's in an area where it accumulates a lot of water, is it an area that could potentially have flooded?
So Matt, I actually heard not too long ago that New Mexico, they elevated the status of our flood hazard to a little bit more of a danger zone.
That's correct.
Recently, right? And so have you seen that affect insurance prices and such?
Not prices so much, but I have had a lot more people asking about flood insurance due to that. I always recommend, of course, water backup is something that you definitely want to get. But flood insurance, I can always run quotes to see what it would look like as far as getting flood insurance. It's not very expensive, but if you ever want to look at getting flood insurance, you always look at the option as opposed to having water backup or getting both of them together.
Great. Well, Matthew, thank you for coming out and talking with us a little bit. And, if you guys have any more questions for Matt, you can definitely reach him on his cell phone. He's very knowledgeable and helpful. And thanks for watching. We appreciate it.